The meeting was just called to order, Mr. President, and I will now call the roll. Rivera.
Here.
Washington.
Here.
Ritter Dixon.
Here.
Walker.
Here.
Nixon.
Here. And now we need to take action on minutes of February the 16th. I'm getting a lot of feedback. Okay, minutes of February 16th. Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes as distributed? Hearing none, all those in favor of accepting the minutes as distributed from the February 16th meeting, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Very well. Next, we have our next meeting will be March the 16th at 6 o'clock. And all agenda items are due by March the 10th, by noontime of March the 10th. We will now proceed with final passage of bill number 6.
Move to approve.
That is bill number 6, an ordinance authorizing the execution by the city of York County of an asset purchase agreement by and among the city, the York City Sewer Authority, and the Pennsylvania American Water Company, authorizing a termination of the existing lease as supplemented between the city and the authority as to the wastewater utility system, authorizing the refunding and or I don't know what that word is, to maturity of all obligations issued by the authority in connection with the wastewater utility system, authorizing directing the authority to terminate its existence in accordance with the Municipal Authorities Act and deliver to the city the necessary certificate requesting termination forthwith upon the refunding and or, what is that, DEF, defeasance of the system obligations, approving the form of the certificate of termination of the authority, and authorizing the filing of such certificate in the office of the Secretary of the Commonwealth, authorizing all actions relating to the execution of the purchase agreement, the termination of the city lease, the refunding and or defeasance to maturity of the system obligations, determination of the authority, and the assumption of all of the authority's obligations under and pursuant to the purchase agreement thereupon, authorizing incidental action to be taken by the proper officers of the city, rescinding inconsistent ordinances and resolutions, and stating the effective date.
I'll move to approve again.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Council, is there any discussion among you? Hearing none. Cliff and Diana, are there anyone from the public wishing to comment prior to our vote?
Two hands. Our first hand, I'm going to go ahead and put them through. Phone number ending in 427. You may go ahead and unmute your mic and speak.
Please identify yourself, speaker.
And press *6 to unmute if you're on the telephone.
Thank you. Good evening, Council. My name is Brian Proctor. I'm the Stilton Borough Council President. I just want to talk about how great PA American has been to us as a borough and to our residents. Their financial assistance program helps our residents out a lot. And they have since completed several infrastructure upgrades. As a small municipality here in Stilton, we weren't able to do those perform those infrastructure upgrades as needed. And I just want to say that you guys would not go wrong in voting to accept PA American's offer. Thank you.
Well, thank you for your comments. Can you tell me again what borough you were with?
I am the Stilton Borough Council President, Brian Proctor.
Very good. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
We have another caller.
Yes, JT Hand, you may go ahead and unmute.
Thank you very much. I appreciate being recognized. My name is JT Hand, and I'm the president and CEO of the York Water Company. And I just wanted to add to the record and maybe a clarification from the editorium from Council President Nixon from this past weekend regarding his assumptions on rates. And I just wanted to see if there would be clarification from Council President Nixon regarding his understanding of the Public Utility Commission's allowance for rate increases not to exceed more than 3% every 3 years. And if Council President Nixon was aware that the Public Utility Commission just recently approved rate increases for Pennsylvania American on the water side of 7% in the first year, going up to 8.5% in the second year. And on the wastewater side, an increase of 29.8% over 2 years. And if that is the understanding that council has regarding the Public Utility Commission's approval of rates.
Well, Mr. Hand, I am not aware of this latest move, and it was an understanding that I had from several previous meetings. So I apologize if I was wrong in my comments. But as I did say, typically the city has, on average, raised the rates nearly 8% per year over the course of the last 20 years. So that I feel fairly confident that we will be doing the right thing, and it certainly will help to stabilize our finances going into the future.
And Council President Nixon, I certainly appreciate that, and I certainly appreciate the diligence that you and fellow council members have been placed into this process. I just wanted to make sure that council was aware that in the most recent filing, the rate increase was 8.5% over 2 years on the water side and 29.8% on the wastewater side. That is the most recent approval from the Pennsylvania Public Utility Commission. So that is significantly higher than maybe your previous understanding. I just want to make sure you had full understanding of the process.
Thank you. Is there anyone else?
I have none.
Oh, I have one more hand.
Very good.
Here. Ryan Supler, you may go ahead and unmute and speak.
Hello, Ryan Supler here. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I just wanted to say, reluctantly, I am in favor of this. I would have loved to have kept this in government control, regional control, but we have to sell this. We need the money. We need property tax relief. We need opportunities in the city. We need to grow. And I know that with this money, we can do that in the next 5 to 10 years, and we can tackle the issues that have put us in this place. So I'm in favor of this. I know it's a hard vote. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
I got one more. 1 second here. Phone number ending in 793. You may go ahead and unmute your mic and speak, and press
Please
star,
identify yourself, caller.
*6 to unmute.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, my name's Kevin Hall. I'm a New Cumberland Borough Council, and like one of your prior callers, I've kind of been paying attention to these things in a number of different municipalities over the last couple of years because of our prior experience. When we went to sell our sewer treatment plant, we sought bids from a number of different entities, and we eventually chose PA American Water to purchase the sewage plant. And our experience in dealing with the transition for PA American Water was essentially flawless. They really stepped in, did a great thing for the community. At the time that we went to sell the treatment plant, we had been in debt for the first time. We're a small municipality, but we had been in debt for the first time in 25 years. Selling the plant allowed us to not only get out of debt, but to have a $8.5 million surplus that has allowed us to do a number of infrastructure projects in our small community. Just this past year, we were able to buy additional equipment for the police with everything that was going on in the country. And we were also able to reduce property taxes. So like I said, I've been to a number of different municipal meetings on this issue. And I think it's a positive move for each of the communities considering this. And I appreciate you allowing me the time.
Thank you for calling in. Do we have another caller?
I have none.
Very well. Please call the roll.
Let's see here. Rivera,
Yes.
Washington,
No.
Ritter Dixon,
Yes.
Walker,
Yes.
Nixon,
Yes, and that is so ordered. Next, there's a resolution for the anticipation note.
Move to approve. Second.
and this is resolution number 24, authorizing a tax and revenue anticipation note series of 2021 in the price for the price of $20 million related to the sale of the wastewater treatment plant to Pennsylvania American Water Company.
Move to approve.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion, council? Hearing none. Do we have anything from the public on this matter?
Nothing here.
I received no phone calls, Mr. President.
Thank you. Madam, would you please call the roll?
Rivera,
Yes.
Washington,
No.
Ritter Dixon,
Yes.
Walker,
Yes. Yes.
Nixon, I'm sorry.
Yes. That was a yes.
Thank you.
Resolution passes. Next, we have introduction of bill number 7, I believe.
That is correct. Councilman Rivera, that is you.
Move to approve.
So introduced.
So introduced.
That's bill number 7, introduced by Lou Rivera, an ordinance approving the 2020 and 2019 ordinance replacement pages of the codified ordinances.
Very well. That will sit until our next meeting. And next, we have introduction of bill number 8.
So introduced.
That's bill number 8, introduced by Judy A. Ritter Dixon. A bill amending the CDBG CV COVID-19 budget to reflect rollover amounts for 2021.
Once again, that bill will sit until our March meeting. And now we have introduction of bill number 9.
So introduced.
Bill number 9, introduced by Queen of Washington. A bill amending the 2021 budget by appropriating revenue in the amount of $81,621.50 and expenditures in the amount of $163,243 for the police department for crossing guard services.
Very good. Now we have a number of resolutions. Resolution 6 through 9. Is there any item that one of the members of council wishes to pull for further discussion? Hearing none, may I have a motion to consider a consent agenda for items 6 through 9?
So moved.
I'll make a,
The motion was made by Walker. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Are there any calls from the public to discuss any item prior to our consideration?
Thing here.
There's nothing received on my end.
Very good, thank you. May I have a motion to have a consent agenda for items 6 through 9?
So
We had a
moved.
motion for the consent agenda. This would be the motion to approve items 6 through 9, Mr. President.
Correct.
I'll make a motion to approve agenda item 6 through 9.
Second.
We have both motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye. Oh, no, we need
Aye.
to have a roll call on that. I apologize. Yes, roll call, please.
Rivera,
Yes.
Washington,
Yes.
Ritter Dixon,
Yes.
Nixon,
Yes, and that is so ordered.
Walker, yes.
You forgot
Did I
Walker.
miss you, Sandy? I'm so sorry. So we have Walker, so that's a unanimous vote.
Very good. That's all for the business. Is there any comment from anyone on council?
None.
I'm not hearing any. I believe the mayor is on. Is there anything from the mayor?
Yes, I have a few items. Thank you, Mr. President. One, just that while it didn't seem like it today, it is getting a little bit warmer out and people are starting to socialize more. So remember that we do have concerns with socialization, but at the same time, we understand that things are happening around the community. So please wear your masks and continue to social distance where possible. And also, we do have an event coming up on Friday. It's the first Friday in March. And there will be a shamrock scavenger hunt around downtown where you can seek out one of 60 or 70 shamrocks or special discounts hidden around town. And so that'll give you opportunity for savings while you're shopping in the city here. Also wanted to send out our condolences to the Rossum family. I think by now many of us heard that we lost a very creative young man, Ryan Rossum, and wanted to make sure that we as a city reached out, and I will also be reaching out personally. Couple of updates on some things administratively. About a year ago, it came before City Council a request for an extension for the residency for the fire chief, Chief Deerdorf. And I wanted to update everyone and make sure they knew that Chief Deerdorf has now procured a residency within the city and has followed the administrative guidelines to have his residency in the city. At this point, the administration or the mayor's office portion of this is ceded to the controller's office, who, whether you knew it or not, it's the controller's office that is actually in charge of maintaining the records for residency for those in the city, those employees and directors that are required to maintain residency in the city. So if there are any thoughts or concerns about this, they can be directed to our Human Resources Department, and we will be able to, the controller and the Human Resources Department will be able to follow up on those concerns. The other item I wanted to discuss just briefly is that there was an update recently within the case regarding Officer Clayton Swartz. And you may recall there was an incident where accusations have been made of indecent activity or activities unbecoming an officer, that these issues were sent to the Court of Common Pleas to be reviewed. And the Court of Common Pleas has said that more work needs to be done by the city trial board. So those issues have been sent back to the city trial board. The city trial board is being provided with legal counsel so that they can complete their work as required by law, which hadn't been done previously. So just wanted to update the community that this issue, while unfortunately this happens sometimes, is when things go to court, we kind of lose track of them, and they're in the system. There is work being done. They're not being forgotten or swept under the rug, but there is a due process in the court system, and we just took another step. So the next step is that the administration will be expecting to hear from the trial board regarding their findings. So that's these are the updates that I have. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. Otherwise, I hope everybody has a great week, and we'll see you in a couple weeks.
Yep, very good. Thank you. And I believe we can call this meeting adjourned. Good evening.
Good evening.